Hello everyone, welcome to the session on Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and Rules 1945. In this session, we are going to discuss about provisions of import of drugs and cosmetic. Now, by definition, what is import? Import means to bring into India. So, what are the provisions? So, for import, there are classes of drugs for which different provisions. So what are the classes of drugs? There are drugs whose import is totally prohibited. There are the drugs which are allowed under license or permit. And there are the drugs or cosmetics for which import license is not required. So one by one we'll discuss each type. So first there is the drugs whose import is prohibited. So what kind of drugs are there whose import is prohibited? Misbranded drugs, adulterated drugs, spurious drugs. So what do we mean by misbranded, adulterated, spurious? All this definition we have discussed in a separate session. You may watch it using the link provided in the description below. Then the drugs which are not of standard quality. Some drugs, if they claim to cure or prevent the diseases which are specified in Schedule J. Schedule J contains diseases which are incurable. So if there is a claim that the drug will prevent or cure the disease, then it cannot be imported. Then drugs whose manufacturing, sale, distribution are prohibited in the country of origin, means from the country the person wants to import it into India and the country itself has prohibited that drug, then it cannot be imported into India. Then some patent and proprietary medicine whose formula is not disclosed, means what are the ingredients and what quantities are of each ingredient that is not disclosed, then that cannot be imported. Then any drug or cosmetic which is imported, whose import is prohibited by rules of drugs and cosmetic, then it cannot be imported. Or any cosmetic which contains ingredients which is unsafe or harmful. Then, so this was about drugs whose import is totally prohibited. Now, some drugs which are imported under license or permit. So, which drugs are imported under license or permit? Schedule C and C1 drugs, Schedule X drugs for experiment, testing or analytical use. Then for personal use or new drugs. So we will discuss one by one. Import of Schedule C and C1 drugs. So what are the conditions to be maintained when someone is importing Schedule C and C1 drugs? Adequate facilities are required for the storage of this kind of drugs. As we know that C and C1 drugs contains biological products. Record of sale should be maintained, means to whom it is sold, when, which quantity, what is the date, everything should be recorded and maintained. Inspectors or drug inspectors are allowed to visit the premises to inspect the records, then storage conditions, and they are also allowed to take sample of the drug. If licensing authority asks for the samples, then person has to or licensee has to furnish the samples. If licensing authority has the doubt that the drug is not of standard quality, then they may ask or they may advise the importer or licensee not to sell the drug till the results of the analysis are coming. After analysis, if licensing authority comes to know that drugs are not complying the standards of act and rules, then they also advise to recall the batches which are sold. Then Schedule X drug, they mostly contains narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances and other drugs. So for them also the conditions of storage are required, facilities, adequate facilities are required. Licensing authority may refuse to give the license for the import of Schedule X drugs if the applicant earlier failed to comply with the standards or failed to comply with the prescribed things in Act and rules, or with the previous license he or she was convicted under DNC Act or NDPS Act, that is narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Then for analytical use, here small quantities are to be imported for analytical or testing or experiment purpose. So if that is permitted, then it is used exclusively for the said purpose which is mentioned while taking the license. Licensee should keep all the records of quantity, manufacturing, date of import and everything. Then inspectors are allowed to inspect the premises, to see the records, to see the storage conditions. They are allowed to take the samples also. They should comply with the conditions prescribed in Act and rules. So that was the small quantities for analytical use. Next is for the personal use. So for the personal use, the import is not prohibited, but the condition is only small quantity up to 100 average doses are allowed. Say for example, person is taking 1 tablet per day, then 100 tablets are allowed to import, but prescription of registered medical practitioner is required, and it should be the medicines or drug should be a part of passenger's luggage. It should not be a separate than the luggage. Then it should be declared to the custom authorities. Another part is new drugs. So new drugs are the drugs, so their effects or the biological actions or pharmacological actions are not completely understood, or they are not in a public domain, or they are still in a preliminary stage. So that are the new drugs. So here for that import, sanction of licensing authority is required in a writing. Then there must be a documentary evidence for the standard quality of the drugs which are being imported. Again, they must comply the things specified in Schedule Y. Schedule Y is dealing with the clinical trials. Then this kind of drugs may be imported in a public interest. So that was about drugs imported with license. Now drugs which can be imported without license. So which kind of drugs can be imported without license? So drugs whatever we discussed in A and B, other than that, can be imported without license, but only thing is declaration is to be submitted to the custom collector and it should comply all the provisions. Now this is how application is made and how license is given. So for the import of schedule drugs other than Schedule X drug, application is made in a form number 8 and license is granted in a form number 10. For the drugs specified in Schedule X, application is made in a form 8A and license is granted in a 10A. For the small quantities of drugs for the analysis or experimentation or testing, then application is made in form number 12 and license is given in form number 11. Then what are the places in India where the drugs can be imported. So drugs can be imported via route like railway stations, means by train, by air, by sea, or by road. So which railway stations are designated for import of drugs? So if drug is imported from Pakistan, then Firozpur cantonment and Amritsar. If drugs are imported from Bangladesh, then Ranaghat, Bongaon, Mohisan railway stations. If drug is imported from Nepal, then Rexall railway station. By road, if drug is imported from Bangladesh, then what are the places? In West Bengal, Petrapol Road, in Assam, Sutarkandi, Old Rangna Bazaar and Agartala, in Tripura. If drug is imported by sea, then these are the ports like Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Cochin, Nhava Sheva, Kandla. Then inland container depots are also there in Tughlakabad and Patparganj in Delhi, Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu, then in Goa, in Visakhapatnam, right? So these are the routes by sea, by air. It can be received from Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Goa, Bengaluru and Visakhapatnam airports. These are the places at which drugs can be imported. Now, what are the offenses and penalties? So import of adulterated drugs or cosmetic, spurious drug or spurious cosmetic, if the convicted, then imprisonment up to 3 years and fine up to 5,000 rupees. If the same person is convicted again, then imprisonment up to 5 years and fine up to 10,000 rupees or both. Then import of any drug or cosmetic other than which are referred in clause A, means in a previous slide, then imprisonment is up to 6 months and fine up to 500 rupees or both 6 months and 500 rupees. If same person is convicted again, then imprisonment up to 1 year and fine up to 1,000 rupees or both. So this was about the provisions of import of drugs under Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. Next time we'll again discuss one more interesting topic related to Drugs and Cosmetic Act. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.